that the just concluded election was conducted peacefully, transparently, and in full compliance with our established procedures. The digital voting system performed reliably. Every vote cast was properly recorded, and the entire process has been thoroughly reviewed. Earlier on, our attention was drawn to some allegations regarding the election process. Let me emphasize that the NSC has a well-structured and established process for addressing complaints, disputes, and concerns about any aspect of its elections. Members who are not satisfied with any part of the process are strongly encouraged to make use of these formal channels rather than resorting to online. I must admit at this point that the delay in coming here was trying to prepare some response to this. The first claim was that there was voting discrepancies within the first 5 minutes of the election, and that a gap of 32% was recorded between one of the deputy presidential candidates and another. The claim was to the effect that this gap was improbable. This claim is false, misleading, and without empirical facts to back it up. The AGM should be informed that the 2024 election had a total accredited voters of 8,769. This year's accredited voters figure is 14,079. This therefore implies that the votes being cast this year will be higher than the previous. The second claim alleged that there were unnatural voting patterns which suggest possible system manipulation or automated interference. After careful examination, it is evident that the concerns raised stem from misunderstandings of digital election dynamics. Early voting gaps are normal. Parallel voting trends occur naturally when voters within similar windows and differences in votes across positions reflect varying voter eligibility, not irregularities. At exactly 00 hours today, the election commenced. The president, the deputy president, past president, ESCO members, candidates for the election witnessed the commencement. And they stayed on for about 33 minutes. Within the first 10 minutes, 147, constituting 1%, had voted. Members had, and 30 minutes into the election, 735, representing 5%, had also cast their votes. So far, the turnout and sensitization done by election committee through different media and channels have helped significantly to simplify the entire election process. To guarantee transparency, election results were made available to members who had received tokens and voters and voted whenever they logged in. To ensure equity and fairness, members who hadn't voted were given priority whenever they attempted to log in for the first time, while those who only wished to view results were periodically logged out to allow efficient resource utilization. I want to explain this a bit. There are cases of individuals who say they tried to log in or were logged in and logged out. The process was designed to give priority to first-timers. So if, for instance, you had voted and you were logging in to check the result, and somebody was coming in to vote afresh, you will be kicked out for. If you repeat it severally, the Equipment will identify your IP address and note you. In fact, if you continue for over a period, it could even ask whether you are a human being or a robot. So that happened, and some people thought it was a problem. It was not a problem. It was to prioritize those who were coming in first over those who had been in. The third claim is that there are inconsistent total vote counts, and that since the system requires voters to the votes across positions should remain uniform. Again, there's an error here. You recall, for the older fellows, there were those days where when we're having 3 vice presidents, they say, now it's not like that. You can come in to the platform, vote for only one person, and log out. You are at liberty to also refuse to vote and log out. So people, it's not like those days that you must vote for anybody you don't want to vote. If your only interest is in one candidate of all the 28, you vote for that person and go. So in that circumstance, you cannot have uniformity of results in the manner that it used to be in the previous year. This was done because if somebody was standing unopposed, for instance, it's not automatic that you must win. If people refuse to vote for you, you could still lose and will have a rerun. So that is the way this was designed, so that nobody thinks because it's unopposed is guaranteed an election. However, I must remind all candidates who are dissatisfied with the conduct, as I said earlier, please, let's be peaceful. This is a family affair. As an election committee, we have done our best, but we are only humans. So that's why there's an appeal panel. You go to the appeal panel, if they think what we have done is wrong, they can upturn what we have done, and that is it. But please, I plead that you should take this nothing to corrupt or compromise this process. I had an eye on the front end